Alright everyone, so we're continuing on our build here. Just trucking right along. If that expression meant moving at the speed of a semi-truck, which isn't fast. Okay, so what did we do so far? Well, I got this cut out so where it just fits around our pump there, and that's actually, it's really not even going to stick out. It's pretty much flush with the top of this. Might need to go a tiny bit more on this side. Doesn't seem like it wants to do that. It could also just be the fitting. There's, all kinds of bracing and stuff on the bottom side of this case that we have to smooth out in order to get like our window flush underneath there. And our fan, which I originally was going to put, our fan right here on the outside, but I don't know. I still like it that it's all black there, but keep in mind I made a little test panel of our mirror film so you can easily see through it when there's light. When there's no light, it's basically just a mirror. So, and yes, there's lots of bubbles. I didn't clean it before putting the film on there. I just wanted to see if I'd be able to see through it good enough. Turn that light off. I don't know if you'll be able to. So you can see through it. I should have got my brighter flashlight, but obviously the LED strip will be on the inside. So made sure that effect works. I got another one cut out to the exact size that I need. There you go. And that's obviously going to attach on the bottom side. So yeah, I'm going to make sure to clean this very thoroughly. I have enough film to make a few of those just in case I screw up. Now my second idea was to put this fan on the inside and then put this grill on the outside, just to kind of protect the fan blades and whatnot. I'm still back and forth on that, but we'll get to that. We got this spot cut out for our temperature display. This is my test temperature display with no wires on it, so I just used that to cut this out. As you can see, we are very thin right here, so I'm hoping if I do use this grill, we'll have this on both sides. It'll kind of make sure this section is kind of strengthened, and because this fits around the pump nice and snug, it shouldn't allow that to flex at all, but that's how it works. Anyway, what do we got to do? So I still need to clean this up a bit, especially if I'm doing the grill on the outside. You can see I made sort of little cutouts there to kind of match where the outer ring goes, but I can't do that on this side because that's just way too thin. So that's what partly makes me want to put this on the outside. And to be honest, I don't know, I think I like it. Even if we're going to have the little window of mirror here and there's no other chrome, I don't know, this is a pretty cheap, it's not a very exciting, it's one of the most basic fan grills you can get. So anyway, everything else is pretty much all cut out. This fits, this is going to fit. I don't have to mess with this anymore if I'm putting the fan up here. Like I said, this one, I feel like I just need a tiny bit more off this side. Spent a lot of time sanding this so it doesn't, it actually fits around here snug. This side, I'll just need to go back with the hand sand, regular sandpaper, just finish smoothing that out a little bit, and then we can go ahead and paint all this stuff. Now, as you can see, it's already matte black, but I think I want to do all of it in this primer, and then I'm thinking about doing the triple gloss over it on this, our two vents, and our hard drive cover. And yeah, I don't know, I think that would just look nice and clean. It would probably make it look more, kind of match the pump top, a little glossier, instead of the nice matte look. Yeah, other than that, I just need to put the screws on the motherboard to hold that into our metal frame, put our ring of light board on here, and connect all the wiring. So we're going to get into that. First thing I need to do, like I said, is finish sanding this stuff and put some paint on this so that while that's curing and drying and all that, we can actually get into all the wiring stuff. I also need to reattach this. I had to take it off to get the motherboard out. I'm going to reattach this onto the side, But while it's out, I also want to put a little tube on this. This is the outlet that's going to go to our pump. I don't want this one, the inlet, blowing air bubbles into, circulating right back into this one here. So if we have a long tube there, it should stop any of that from happening. I had to go back and cut out a little notch in the cover here because that fits around this perfectly, but if there is a plug on the end of this, even a really skinny one, it just barely catches on that, so I had to cut that out. But alright, so that's what I'm doing next. I'm going to put this in, and let's see, we're going to put some mirror film on this and get the wiring done while this paint is drying. So then we'll pick it up from there. Yeah, other than that, here's our temperature display. It has the option to take the flat sensor off and put a plug style on there, which I think I would rather do. I just need to make sure I have at least a 3-way splitter and figure out where I'm going to put that. I already have an idea of where I'm going with the tubing and all that stuff, so this should get together pretty quick from this point. So, enough talking. Alright, I finished sanding the top piece, put the primer on there. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and install our reservoir back into the top here. And I was going to take the vents out there to paint them as well, but I wanted these on here because I already have this cut. So I want to have these in place while I put the reservoir in, just because it can move slightly, so if I have it slightly in the wrong spot, then I'll have to redo this whole top thing. So I got these in place so that this will sit in there. We've got a 90-degree turn on the inlet, and then we put that little straw piece on the part that's going to suck water out into our pump. That's just going to sit right in here. We'll get that in place with a bunch of hot glue on the bottom, and it is all glow in the dark, so once the system is running and then turned off, that will also still glow and should illuminate the reservoir for a little bit as well. Just a random little extra thing. So then we have a barb on our exit of the pump, and you can see this tubing is going into the bottom of the radiator, and it's just going to loop right around into here, just because to go straight from here down to there is just too tight of a fit. So we're putting this little loop right here. Actually put it right about here. It's not going to kink. This tubing is very flexible, can bend pretty far without kinking anything, so that's going to loop around there. Got a barb on here. This is the inlet. That's basically going straight down into the reservoir. And then the coming out of the radiator, right underneath here, is going to go straight into the water block. And then from the water block, we've got to loop that one all the way back around right into the reservoir. So that's how that's going to work. Got these screws put in on the motherboard, so that's all in place. And then we're going to put our purple, it's like a UV ring with a white center on there. And then the last thing I got to do, as you can see, I've already got this splitter. It's a 3-pin splitter for these back 2 fans. And then we've got this one here. We've got one more splitter that's going to connect both of these into a single 3-pin. This is our stock fan plug. It's the old 4-pin style. It's going to go into this 4-pin Molex. That's where we can connect our temperature display, and then from there it'll go straight into a 3-pin to connect all of our fans. So it'll be these 3 fans and our temperature display, which is upstairs. That's all going to be on 5 volts. And then here we're going to splice our 4-pin Molex power cable for the pump. We're going to shorten this significantly, and we're just going to splice it right into that other fan that's going to go right here, because that one already has a 3-pin that can connect right into here. So then it'll just be one single 3-pin that's going to plug in our pump and entrance fan, we'll call it. Both of those will be 12 volts right into here. So these fans at 5 volts and this one at 12, they're all should be pretty much silent. And then, yeah, apart from that, we will splice into the DVD power cable just to put a little string of LEDs, probably at least around the top here, so it'll illuminate the top of the DVD drive with what we got going on in there with the colors and the sticker, and that will illuminate right where our window is. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this, get these little wiring things finished up, then we'll start running some tubing. We will have to remove this pump again to get this tubing going, and like I said, I want to put a little thin, probably just cut a little bit of heat shrink to put in between this pump top and the metal frame there, just so there's a little bit of a muffle going on. And that should be pretty much it. Then I'm gonna just wait for this kind of stuff, the paint to dry on these. By the end of the night, I'm gonna put that triple thick clear on there, so it'll be nice and kind of glossy. And then our next video, we should be finishing up, like I said, putting clamps on all the tubing, making sure everything is plugged in right. Get some fluid ordered. I think I'm gonna go for the UV purple. I'll match our purple ring, and apart from that, it should be pretty much ready to go all the way back together. So that's where I'm going to stop it right here, because I got a bunch of stuff to do and it's really hard to keep trying to film what I'm doing. It's kind of boring anyway. I'm just sanding and painting right now and cutting wires, and it would be hard to see anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you like where this project is going. Just really excited for this one. I had the side piece on with the fan in place and whatnot, and I think it's going to look really cool. And that reminds me, the last thing I need to do is, I think this is the only splitter I have right now. It's like a I guess 4-way splitter, which is obnoxious and it's very heavy. So I'm just probably going to see if I can order like a 1 or 2 day shipping off Amazon, like a little basically one of these cubes, maybe an acrylic one that's just a 3-way, so that we can plug in our temperature sensor and should be good to go. Now I could just put the flat sensor under here, but because the Eyeball 360 has a plug, I want to do the same thing with this so we can get a more accurate. And I've explained in the past, there shouldn't be much of a difference between the water block temp, like the copper surface, and the actual fluid temp. Maybe a couple degrees at most. So yeah, I just want that to be the most accurate back and forth on these, and run them side by side and see what's up. So like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video.